Good evening. Today we will be discussing again the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And the last time that Sri Ramakrishna was explaining something, very subtle things. So we will repeat that again and we will continue. So here let us start with that pranam mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi viriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvignanti e bhurida janaha. These are great words. And in the Bhagavata, a very holy book of the Hindus, it promises that these words, it's not mentioning about the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it's mentioning about the Bhagavata, the life of Sri Krishna. If you read, if you hear these words of the God, then you get the merit. So we are studying that, but this time it is Sri Ramakrishna's wonderful words. Now, last time we were discussing, can one ever understand the work of God? So that was the question, and Sri Ramakrishna was telling that he is so near, still it is not possible for us to know him. So near, but not possible to understand him. Him is as if a male person. It's not that, it's the Atman, but the same Atman taking the form of God or Goddess. But just for the simple way to discuss, simple way to make people understand, we are using he or sometimes she or sometimes it like this. So here, as because it is God personified, so it is he. He is so near, still it is not possible for us to know him. Why? That is the question. Why it is not possible? Then there comes that question of the concept of Maya. Maya, a power of God, a delusive power of God, is constantly deluded our mind, constantly deluding our mind. And we are thinking that this is that, but which is actually, in reality, it is not. Only this much. It is so near to us, so close to us, we can understand it, but because of this, God has covered all with his Maya. Sri Ramakrishna is giving this explanation. Why we cannot? God has covered all with his Maya. Now, what is Maya? As you cannot explain in words what is Brahman, similarly we cannot explain in words what is Maya. This word Maya is impossible to explain. Shankaracharya has given some idea, but it is only we can feel, but you cannot explain it in words. That is the thing. Sri Ramakrishna, God has covered all with his Maya. He doesn't let us know anything. Maya is, now he is giving a definition, lust and greed. Maya is lust and greed. It's our desire. It's our lova, greed. It's a lova, the greed for what? To enjoy these worldly things. So what is these worldly things? All those that are changing constantly. So every time, every year, there's a graduation ceremony is going on in the universities, and the young students, they are so happy that we have become doctor, engineer, or these or that. They'll be throwing their hats, parents will be there, all people enjoying. Every year it is happening. Same people, after practicing their profession for a long time, enough is enough, we have to give it up. Why? Why this? To become that, we are striving for so many years and so attentively, so diligently. When you get that, we are so happy. One young lady has sent a little video to me how she is getting this doctor certificates, etc. So this is very fascinating. Every year it is happening. But is it not Maya? We understand that at the fag end of our life. Oh, that is nothing. That is called Maya. Constantly, not you. Before you also people, and after you, and after, each and every one experiencing the same thing, but still being deluded by this wonderful power of God. So it is called Maya, unexplicable. No one can explain it. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, it is covered with that. He who puts Maya aside to see God can see Him. But then, who can see God? The answer, again, he is giving, who can put aside the Maya? But is it just so easy to put aside the Maya? Now, grandfather told his son, my father, you should do this, you should not do this, etc. Same thing he was not liking or liking, it was went on. Same thing he told me, I am telling my junior ones, it's going on and on. This is a very peculiar thing. When we understand it, it is late. So that is the reason only a handful, the people who are having really good luck, having the impressions, good impressions of their past birth, they only can understand from the childhood days, and they can do like that. Katvam Shisho, Shankaracharya asked one young boy. He was not talking at all. But his parents were naturally very unhappy that their son is not talking or not at all interested in this worldly life. What will happen to him? They brought him to Shankaracharya. The moment he saw, he understood he is a great soul. So he asked before everyone, Katvam Shisho, my child, my son, the boy, who are you? Immediately the reply came, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. All these days he was not talking. But the moment the Shankaracharya asked that question, he said, I am the Shiva, the pure. So that is the past life impression. Why he was quietly sitting and not doing anything, not taking any interest in this so-called normal life? Because he knew that it is going to bind him. So these are very, very rare type of people. So we call them Mahapurusha. But we can try. How? By taking the name of God constantly, going to the holy people, listening from them, trying to understand it, implementing those teachings in our life. By that we can put aside these Maya. So Sri Ramakrishna, once when I was explaining God's action to someone, God suddenly showed me the lake of Kamarpukur. I saw a man removing the green scum and drinking the water. The water was clean and crystal. God revealed to me that Satchidananda is covered by that Maya. So it is just a vision he saw, and he interpreting that vision in this way, that God showed him. What is that? You need not to go to Kamarpukur. Here we have a small pond, there you can see all is constantly covered. And whenever there is a wind or the rain, it goes out, and then very really clean and clear water. And that same thing in our mind. What is that pond water? Mind. Our mind. Constantly so many different type of thoughts are coming and covering, just like the scum. And if you can remove it, immediately in the mind itself, it is so quiet and calm and clean mind, so the reflection of the God can be seen over there. So that is the idea. But how to do that? Taking the name of God. That is the only way. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is telling, he who is taking the refuge in me, I will help him to cross the Maya. Maya metam tarantite. Taranti, crossing, as if it's an ocean, and I can help him to cross that ocean. So, Sri Ramakrishna, God revealed to me that the Satchidananda covered by the Maya. He who puts the green scum aside can drink the water. Let me tell you a very secret experience. Sri Ramakrishna, he is explaining to Master Mahashaya. What is that secret? Once I had entered the wood near the pine grove and was sitting there, when I had a vision of something like the hidden door of a chamber. I couldn't see the inside of the chamber. I tried to bore a hole in the door with a nail knife, but did not succeed. As I bored, the earth fell back into the hole and filled it. Then suddenly I made a very big opening. Now, as if the God is trying, the Avatara is trying to see the whole thing, and so that all can see it. But it is going on covering, you cannot make the whole, but it was open to him. Then suddenly I made a very big opening. Uttering these words, the master remained silent. After a time he said, these are very profound words. Apparently, it is so easy, so simple, so childlike. So this is so simple. What is there? There was imagining a wall and trying to make a hole in it, and it is covering all the time. What is there? Something, but he is telling is these are very profound words. That means, is it possible for someone to break this Maya, the wall of Maya, that is constantly covering and not allowing us to see the reality? No. You have to understand it yourself. One can experience but cannot explain. That is the thing. One can experience it but cannot explain it. Sri Ramakrishna was trying his hard to make it open for the ordinary people even. But rhythm, that's the word they say, there's the law, and the law is it should go and continue like this only. It should move like this only. There is no other way. It's called rhythm, the law of nature, we can say. And that rhythm won't allow us, though we want to help, but it's not possible. Physically, you can do it, but the spiritual help is very difficult. Even no one can do that. We have to help ourselves. Uttering these words, Master remained silent. After a time he said, these are very profound words. I feel as if someone were pressing my mouth. And the universe is conscious on account of consciousness of God. Suddenly he is telling the word, the ultimate words of the Upanishad. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad giving a full page. Atmanastu kamaya, like that, because of the Atman, the consciousness, everything. My wife, my husband, the child, the father, the relative, all these things, the full account of it. Why again and again the same thing he is repeating in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad? To make it clear in our mind, to impress within our mind each and everything. is nothing but the manifestation because of the consciousness that is present in it. Otherwise, it is not. Why I am loving my own body? Because Atman is there. Why I am loving my wife, my husband, my children, my family, my everything? Because Atman is there. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Everything that we see becomes priya, adorable, lovable, attractive, because of the presence of the Atman. And what is that Atman? What is that consciousness? That you have to realize, following the words of the scripture and the Guru, yourself. No one can help. The Sri Ramakrishna is telling, sometimes I find that universe is saturated with the consciousness of God. He is using the word God. Now this is actually the consciousness, Atman, Brahman. These are the words that usually the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta particularly uses. And the Dvaitin, in the Vedanta itself, the Dvaita and Advaita, this is there. The Dvaitin, they uses the word God, Ishvara, etc. Here, he says, sometimes I find the universe is saturated with the consciousness of God as the earth is soaked with water in rainy season. Giving an example, everywhere water. Now, the other day, one lady, our neighbor, she came, she was a devotee, and she is helping us to grow some vegetables and requested to give little water. So when they opened the water tap, then suddenly started raining. You needed to bother about that particular garden, vegetable garden, everywhere water. And like that, the consciousness, the Atman, everywhere. Not in this particular thing. That is the speciality of the Hindus. We go to the temple and we are very careful that we should not put on the shoes. We remove our shoes and we go barefoot. But when you walk on the field, when you are walking here and there, each and every place is the same consciousness. But why this temple then? Because at least in the beginning, we know that this is a place where I should concentrate to realize God. As a child is not ready to learn when in the playground. But when the same child goes to school, psychologically, he knows I have to go and sit in the classroom, I have to listen to my teacher, I have to open my book, I have to take the notes. And that is the help of the school. Otherwise, anywhere the child can learn. We can also go and see God in any place. But why the temple? Because of this. That is the main reason. The temple means this is a place where consciously I am coming, this is a place of God. The temple, the church, the synagogue, this is a place of God. I am consciously entering, but it is saturated everywhere. All these have been said again and again, almost in all the Indian scriptures, Hindu scriptures. And this we find again in the words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, confirming that I find the universe saturated with the consciousness of God. Then he said, upon my word, I don't feel vanity even in the slightest degree. I am promising, I don't find vanity. Why? I have realized the truth. So obviously, when the Sri Ramakrishna is expressing, it may be that people may misunderstand that, he is just showing us that he has seen God, he has seen consciousness saturated everywhere. I don't know, because we are not feeling it, we are not understanding it. There is every possibility to misunderstand the person. who is demanding, who is telling this. So Sri Ramakrishna, of course, he is telling it to very close devotee, Sri Ma, Master Mahasaya. At least he should not misunderstand it. There is chances of misunderstanding. Why? Because when I am telling something to a person and he is not at all understanding it, it's difficult for him or her to conceive that idea. There is a chances for misunderstanding. That is the reason Sri Ramakrishna is telling, and he is promising, upon my words, I don't feel vanity even in the slightest degree. Now and then I think, what is it I know that makes so many people come to me? Vaishnava Charan was a great Pandit. He used to say to me, I can find in the scripture all the things that you talk about. But do you know why I come to you? I come to hear them from your mouth. Because whatever they have written in the scripture, that is only written over there. But when we listen it, hear it, from the person who has realized it, seen it, understand it, that is a different thing. And that is why the people who have that realization, when they say, that carries weight. So there are millions and books of there, thousands and thousands of books. Almost every day people are writing so many different ways. But if we go on reading all those things, we will be totally confused. In the Sanskrit they call it Shabda Jalam Maharanyam. It's like a great the forest. And naturally inside that there is every possibility to lose the path. I do not know where I will go. Shabda Jalam Maharanyam Chitta Brahmanakaranat. I go and read this book, great words, wonderful lines. They are only coming out from the tongue. They don't know, they have not realized. What they are writing, they have not seen it. That is the difference. When that is realized, the same person, maybe not in a very polite way, not in a good language that he is using, but still you will feel attracted. So that is why the great Pandit there was a king. So his Pandit was that, our Vaishnava Charan, and he came to meet Sri Ramakrishna. He used to come regularly. And why? Because he could hear those words from the mouth of a realized person. This Vaishnava Charan was a great person in those days. And he is coming and accepting the words of Sri Ramakrishna, who has no certificate at all, who has not read any scripture at all. How come? That's why Sri Ramakrishna himself is wondering, as if, why he is coming and listening to me when he himself is such a great scholar? Because it is the truth that has been realized, and then it is said, than only reading in the book. Someone is just going on helping the students the geography class. Oh, this is the Africa, this is America, this is this. But a person who has visited those places, he can, through his word, you can visualize. See, these are the places I went over there, this happened, that happened, this type of people, that type of things. So that way, when a person has already visited, his words carries the weight. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I know, but do you know why I come here? I come to hear them from your mouth. All your words tally with the scriptures. That is the main thing. The scripture means, again, scripture. Mean those words, after realization, it has been recorded. So the people who have realized all those, we call them Rishi, we call them the respected people, the great souls. They realized that and then expressed it. That has been recorded thousands and thousands years before. Same thing without reading, without knowing another person on the same way giving the expression, that means these are truths. The truth means always, eternally the same thing. And maybe, as a long back, one gentleman told, milk of a cow is white. Now afterwards, after many generations, again a person found, yes, the milk of a cow is white. This is the truth, never changing, not changing because of the time, not changing because of the people's experiences, but is the same truth carrying on. This is in the scripture. The scripture means Shastra, and this Shastra means the words of the realized souls. So this is very important. Aim is also collaborating. All your words tally with the scripture. Navadip Goswami also said that. Sri Ramakrishna, really and truly, I have no pride. No, not even the slightest bit. He is giving the certificate to himself to make people understand, at least through aim. The Master Mahashaya who came, there is naturally, very natural to misunderstand, because we are not having the, suppose a person comes and say, when I sat for meditation, I saw God. What we will understand? Those who are not having any idea of God, those who are practicing, trying to realize God, at least they will wonder, listen to Him, touch His feet and ask for the blessings because of the devotion. But those people who are not having any ABCD of the religion, never practice it, they will go out and say, look at it. All this false word they are telling to impress people so that they get some money, and all these things will come because not having any idea. So Sri Ramakrishna again and again repeating to Sri Ma and telling that really and truly, Shatti Balchi, really and truly, I have no pride. I am not having any ego. No, not even the slightest bit. And again, is giving the description that they were going to a place. Sri Ramakrishna, this is the uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna, that he was just as a modern time missionary, he was not sitting in one place, he was going house to house. He was in a Calcutta, so all the rich people, educated people, he used to visit them, because if they are converted into this great ideology, the philosophy that each and everything is nothing but the manifestation of the same God, that will be easy for them to practice in their life, and thousands of poor people, illiterate people, they will be benefited. If a rich man becomes generous, donor, he can help 1,000 people. So that way, Sri Ramakrishna was going to educated people, to some extent rich people too, Jamindars. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, dwell in the truth and you will certainly realize God. A simple line, dwell in the truth and you will realize God. What is that truth? What is that Sathya? That which never changes. When you talk to the truth, the moment we say the truth, that means whatever is happening, I am observing it and then narrating it. If I am narrating to someone, that's the truth. Not exaggerating, not deleting anything. I am exactly telling those things which have happened before my eyes, because that is the truth. It's called truth. And then holding the truth constantly. What is that truth? Permanent. Sathya. When the Sanskrit word Sathya is used, that means permanent. I am telling the truth means constantly I am talking about God. My conception, my thinking, My everything is dedicated to God and I cannot go beyond that. That is the truth. Sathya. So that truth is, if we can hold on, then Sri Ramakrishna is telling to the monk, dwell in the truth and you will certainly realize God. With great confidence he is telling, because that is the only way. If we can dwell on truth. What is the dwelling on truth? This. God is the only that is permanent. All other things are impermanent. So if I am constantly thinking on God, naturally my mind will be withdrawn from all the objects of the world. From all the objects of the world, what are the objects? We know the 5 objects. Usually we identify through our 5 senses, Chakshukarna, Nashika, Jivha, Tak. When we are identifying and withdrawing those senses, thinking very clearly, strongly, with resolution that these are all temporary, I am not going to be deluded by all this. That's called Sathya. Dwelling in Sathya means withdrawing all the senses and keeping the mind on the truth, that is God, that is Brahman, that is something which permanent, never changes. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling that, you said the other day to Navadvip Goswami, Master Mahasaya is telling, O God, I want thee. Master Mahasaya, whatever he understood, and he was also a great soul, and he is telling, O God, I want thee. Please do not delude me with thy world bewitching Maya. I want to realize thee. This is called Sathya. What is Sathya? God. So the Sri Ramakrishna, some other day, he told to Navadvip Goswami, another very high scholar, Pandit, scholar, that you should pray constantly in this way, and that is living on truth. That is Sathya. And maybe some other day we can discuss about maybe in the next class I will try to quote from different scripture what is Sathya. Sathya means the constantly keeping the mind on that particular truth. But if I am telling the truth, whatever has happened, exactly that, but by that others are being hurt, that is not Sathya. Maybe that whatever is truth, if I say, then a person is being hurt, one should not speak that. So this way Sathya is also having this thing, qualities, but here the Sathya means the Master Mahasaya giving the hint, it is actually that permanent one whom we call as God or Brahman. Sri Ramakrishna is, don't you let, here he has arrived. Yes, one should be able to say that from one's innermost soul. The prayer Master Mahasaya heard that Sri Ramakrishna is telling to Navadvip Goswami, he remembered that and repeated that before Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, yes, one should be able to say that from one's innermost soul. Oh God, you are the only one. From the innermost soul, one should be able to tell it. One of our Swamiji, when we chant the Ram Nam, usually, we say in the Stava Prarthana that, O Ram, O God, you can understand, you can see my own self, I don't have any desire except you. That time I used to keep quiet. And why? Why don't you sing these lines? But it's not true for me. I have so many other thoughts are there. So when I am telling this to God, that is not true. Satyam vadami te bhavan akhilatma atma. You are living as the Atma, as the soul in the hearts of Akhila, everyone. Millions. You're living in the hearts of everyone. And you know that I don't have any desire. Satyam vadami te. I am telling you the truth, oh God, but it's not truth. We go on telling that without considering what's the meaning of it and not very serious about that too. But if we really sincere, we won't be able to utter those words because we have desires. And only desire that we are not having, that is the Sri Rama, blessings of Sri Ramachandra. We are only singing that particular time and constantly watching the watch. When the time is past, we will go, we will be free, all this thing. So this is way it goes, and here Sri Ramakrishna, with the moment the masters Sri Ma told that, and Sri Ramakrishna told yes, but this is the way, you must be very, very careful. Then they came to the Sri Ramakrishna arrived other's house and took a seat in the parlor, in the living room. Nowadays they call it over here the living room. That's the parlor. So people used to sit over there to discuss. Almost every house it is having a separate special room where they can meet the outsiders, meet the friends, discuss. The parlor talk, in the Swami Vivekananda's lectures you will find many, many parlor talks. So I also go, and when I give the name parlor talk, they don't understand. I say, okay, living room talk. So that will do. So this parlor talk means in that place where people are invited, very known people, friends and relatives, maybe a few neighbors, they come, they sit, and then you discuss. This is very, very effective. When you go and give a lecture in a big hall, few people they understand it. But in a very close 25, 20 people, when you are discussing, so they can ask questions, we can discuss, they also can share their views, very effective. So Sri Ramakrishna used to go in that way, constantly from this house to that house. He has come to other. But who is this other? See this one or two lines. Other means a great devotee. And he said, Ramakrishna arrived at other's house and took a seat in the parlor. Rakhal, Ramlal, Adhar and Master Mahasaya and the other devotees sat near him. Rakhal means afterwards Swami Brahmananda was staying with his father in Calcutta. Rakhal's actually original parental house a little away from the Calcutta. So that also has become a center of the Ramakrishna mission now. But they used to come naturally, the big city people they come, so they used to come, and that time his father was a landlord, very rich man. So he was living with his father in Calcutta. Master to Adhar, didn't you let Rakhal know that I was coming? That was the system of Sri Ramakrishna. He used to send words to all known, come, we will go over here. And recently, whenever I go to Naperville Gita class, usually there are two devotees, I go and take the dinner over there and come. Whoever is with me, they also come with me. This time, as because the long weekend it was, many young people they came, they were staying, one or two the ex-students of the Ramakrishna mission, and they were all here. Now I cannot say no to them. So I told the host, see, 2 persons will come with me. They said, okay. Then I told not 2, it has increased, it may be 4, it's okay. Then ultimately it became 11 in total. So I told some people are coming with me, they told okay. Because I am not sure how many, the number is increasing. But when we went, a lot of food was there, that is sufficient. And apart from the food, the discussion, all becoming close and discussing about that, keeping ideology before, that is the joy. That is called parlor. Sri Ramakrishna wanted that Rakhal, though he is a rich man's son, naturally, if you don't invite, he won't come. So it's not like, so Sri Ramakrishna tell him that I want him to be here. Other understood, the master was not very much pleased that that boy was not there. Why? Because they are pure soul. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to talk to them so that they can understand it better. What does it mean by pure soul? They were not having any desire for the worldly enjoyments. That is the main thing. A group of young people came. I was telling that you are all intelligent, young. Why don't you become monks and nuns? You are appreciating the monks and nuns. Swamiji, you have come from all the way from India, staying here, spreading the Indian messages. I told, yes, you are appreciating me. Why yourself is not becoming? No. First I will marry and then I will spread the message of religion. Okay. The second preference. The first preference, so this way, when the young people come, if they are really like our Vivekananda, Narendranath, all that, Sri Ramakrishna understood that they are not at all attached to the worldly things. So he used to go on giving them indirect way, in the beginning, indirect way, teachings of Tyaga and the idea of God, liberation, mukti and all that. So he was. Now Adharshen understood, finding that the master was eager to see Rakhal, Adhar at once sent his carriage to fetch him. Adhar had been yearning to see master that day, but he had not definitely known that Sri Ramakrishna was coming. Sri Ramakrishna came, there was no fixed date that he will come. But Adhar was very much eager that I have not seen Sri Ramakrishna for a long time, and that is called divine love. The other, he was a deputy, the Sri Ramakrishna used to tell him deputy, magistrate he was. You can imagine at the time of the British rule, Indian has become a magistrate. That means a big post. And that person was so humble and he used to love Sri Ramakrishna so much, as because he could not go and visit the Dakshineswar, he was yearning to see him. Sri Ramakrishna came to him. And after coming, he told, bring them with this, that, and then he told, I haven't been here for a long time. I prayed to God today that you might come. Other went out for some work maybe, so he was saying, I prayed to God today that you might come. I even shed tears. I was crying that I couldn't see you. So that is the love. Do you really feel like that? So these are the characteristics of the devotees. I have not seen him for a long time. Anywhere, every moment, that God picture should be before me. So here he was telling, I think yesterday someone rang me and he was telling someone who was going on singing, Gopala Ajao, no Gopala came. So, but the song nobody liked because the singer was not having the devotion. The singer was constantly thinking how to impress the audience. That usually don't work. Devotion is a different thing. The real love is a different thing. So when they are crying for that, then naturally God is bound to come, and the presence of God is felt in the hearts of the devotees. They will feel, yeah, God is here, something is good. So feel the attraction to come, to listen, and after listening, they become so happy. So that is called devotee. Other was a real devotee. You haven't been here for a long time. I prayed to God today that you might come. I even shed tears. And Master was pleased. Sri Master Mahashaya, who was recording, he noticed it and he mentioned it. Why? God is pleased. Why? The devotee was crying for God. Now, usually wherever the Sri Ramakrishna used to go, someone used to sing. He was very fond of the songs. So the person who was there, his relative, that is Ramlal, we know the Ramlal Dada, he is famous in the Ramakrishna family. He sang a song, and the last words, about in the throat, in the 16-petal lotus flower of smoky hue. Within the petals of this flower there lies concealed a subtle space, transcending which one sees at length the universe in space dissolve. In the song it is there, a Bengali song about goddess Kali. Master Sri Ramakrishna said to the aim, listen, this is known as the vision of Satchidananda. When the song was sang, he understood the person who composed must have realized that Satchidananda, though he was describing goddess Kali, a personal goddess, but actually, ultimately, the mentioning about the vision of Satchidananda, Sat Chit Ananda, together they pronounce it Satchidananda. Sat Chit Ananda. What is that? Somehow the people have tried to explain about the Brahman. It's not actually the Brahman. It's an indication about the Brahman. Sat Chit Ananda. What is Sat? This Sat means existence. It is always there without any change. That is Sat. Chit is knowledge, full of knowledge, complete knowledge. And Ananda is the bliss absolute. So that is called Sat Chit Ananda, and that is formless Brahman. There are two types of Brahman. One is with form, another is without form. Why these two? Now we will come to this next line. One attained the absolute by going beyond the universe and its created being, conjured up by Maya. See, in the conclusion, today's conclusion, we can say, one can go beyond this universe. How? Because this is the Maya. If we can understand that, then we can go beyond this. And where we will go? We will go to the absolute. That is called Brahman. Brahman is known as absolute. Brahman is known as Atma, Paramatma, like this, in different names. By repeating Om, one goes beyond the Nada and attains Samadhi. The Om iti Brahma, in the Upanishad it says, what is Brahman? It's a Om iti. The word Om, that is Brahman. Why? A-U-Ma. That is called Om. This Om is a symbol of Brahman. When you are going on repeating that, one gets that vision. Then there's a different type of talks are there. Here I found about that Vedanta. It says, most crucial problem of the Advaita Vedanta is to explain the coexistence of the two entirely different and incompatible entities. Now let us just read from this passage. This is a wonderfully, here the writer has explained that two things are there. Again and again we come to that. The Hindu philosophy, the Hindu ideology, the Hindu ultimate thing are the two things. What? One is this existence that is called the world, and another is Atman, consciousness, Brahman, Paramatma, Atma. So that is, these two are totally different. How to explain it? How the darkness and the light are living together. If this is not actually existing, then how come if Brahman is the true, then where from this world came, the universe came with so many varieties, Nama and Rupa. It explained like this: Brahman and the world, two different, complete. In the Bhagavad Gita it says Kshetra and Kshetrajna, and Brahman and the world. Brahman is infinite consciousness, which is Nirguna. Nirguna, the Sanskrit word, means is not having any qualities, Nirguna. And what are those qualities? Sattva, Raja, Tama. These three qualities, the moment it is there, immediately different type of creation begins. So it is beyond the gunas, Nirguna, absolutely devoid of all attributes. What Brahman is cannot be expressed in words. The Upanishadic definition, Brahman is truth, Brahman is knowledge, Brahman is infinity, is only a symbolic indicator, lakshana. Lakshana means indication, symbolic indication, not a true description. It is impossible to give the description of the real nature of Brahman, the infinite, the indivisible, the attributeless cannot be characterized in terms of finite categories. As Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Sri Ramakrishna in his simple words he said, Brahman is the only thing which has never become uchishta. That is defiled by human mouth. Brahman is the sole reality. The Upanishads declare all this is Brahman. There is no multiplicity here. It's talking about the Brahman. We are now, because a little conception, little idea about that Brahman as because Sri Ramakrishna is talking about the Satchidananda. Then when we are reaching to that Satchidananda by crossing the 7 stages that in the yoga it says Patanjali Yoga Darshan, and after that we go beyond the throat, then comes the eyebrow, then ultimately the Saptabhumi. The Saptabhumi, when the 5th one we are crossing, then the 6th one, 7th is absolute, that is Nirguna Brahma, we reach over there. The Upanishads and Brahma Sutra also regard Brahman as the cause of the universe. Now the difficult, only 2-3 minutes we will take. The cause of the universe, according to the Hindu, we have already discussed it in our saga of the soul. What is the cause of this universe? Who created? Now, different religion they express, different philosophy they express in different way. Mostly they say God created the universe. Now, in the China, the conception is someone created the human being first and then created the river and asked him to go and fishing. So the person from the beginning started doing fishing. So we have developed a CD, one of our devotee, very nicely he has done it. I will show it to you someday. It's a really good one. And this Brahma Sutra and regard the Brahman as the cause of the universe. All schools of Vedanta hold that Brahman is both material cause and the intellectual cause. That is, the Brahman is the material cause, upadana karana. Upadana is there of the world. The world, which is material in nature, consists of countless living, non-living beings, is ever changing and is characterized by dualities such as heat and cold, joy and pain. It is in every way opposite of the Brahman. How can two totally dissimilar and incompatible entities, Brahman and the world, have any causal relationship at all? Brahman is the sole reality. How and where can the world exist? So that is the solution. The Shankaracharya, he has found out. Paramarthika Sathya, Vyavaharika Sathya. One is Vyavaharika, this expression that we see, that is also Sathya. And this same thing, Swami Vivekananda, in a very simple way said, we travel from lower truth to higher truth. It's not from the false to truth, from lower truth to higher truth. It's a wonderful expression. That when you see this world with the multifarious thing, we cannot simply say it is all false. It is there. I am touching, I am feeling, I am smelling. So obviously it is there, but Vyavaharika Satya, ultimately these things, what I think it is a wood or a microphone or a human body, in reality it is Brahman. So when I say that this is a wood, there is also truth, but lower truth. But the higher truth is, this is the other form of the consciousness which is Brahman. Now, one person suddenly asked the one Sri Ramakrishna, "Sir, why should one think of God at all? Why should I have to think about God?" I wanted to explain this today, but that's because I was thinking the last time I just read the passages, so I thought I must explain. So I could not reach here because 1 hour is a very less time. Though you people must be thinking when the Swami is going to stop. So it's 1 hour. So next day again we will discuss on this particular topic, Brahman, Maya, and why one should have to think about God at all. It's a very interesting question. Thank you very much. Let us conclude with the Pranam Mantra to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavattaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.